Hello, buddy. Welcome back to another episode of the Ladare Lounge. I really like the thing is, you know what's the problem with the freaking Ladare Lounge? I'm gonna be doing this every single episode. Anyway, welcome. I'm still trying to figure out this thing. Like, so whenever I say Ladare Lounge, like it stops basically. So I need to use the Ladare Lounge like at the end of something. Yeah, sure. Anyway, that's the thing for me to deal with. Last episode we did. We did the first Alliance raid from Stormblood, and today we're gonna go and do the second one. Lynn, where in the world have you been? Did you not receive Alma's summons? Principal Lexentale's research into the R-site may finally have borne fruit. We must hurry to the Prima Vista before they embark on some grand and perilous adventure without us. Back to the Prima Vista. Lynn, Lady Murilla, thank you for answering my summons. Master Garland was kind enough to send for an Archon from Sharlayan, and I thought it only right that you be present to hear her findings. To be frank, summoning Mikoto was more Yushtola's idea. I simply came along to see what light she could shed on this mystery. I am Mikoto of House Chimba, a Doman, though my years in Sharlayan have made me a stranger here. You must be Lynn Adair, fabled liberator of men, sayer of false gods, warrior of light. I thought you'd be taller. Let us speak of the crystal. The Otius, one of but many Aurosite shards that aided noble Delita's rise to regent. My apologies, the Otius is no ordinary crystal. Even discounting its obvious historical importance, the specimen is more than a simple manifestation of elementally aspected energies. It is rather an ethereal lodestone whose facilitation of both the absorption and transmission of distant frequency and NRR-type harmonic vibrations has been observed to promote ethereal amplification. The resultant neuroharmonic disturbances allow for a highly unique emittance of CPRS waves that, instead of radiating outward with a determinate factor of dispersal, instead resonate inwards at a frequency so labored, my estimates place the rate of VRT decay at upwards of several centuries, though I must admit I lack sufficient variance to complete a truly comprehensive graphical assessment. While that explanation may elicit admiring nods from your professors at the academy, it will earn you only blank looks here. Take a deep breath and try again, this time in a language those of us without the echo might comprehend. My apologies, I merely thought... Apologies will see us no nearer to an answer. A simpler explanation will. Simpler, right. Ether is not only the building block of all things material, but those immaterial as well. Thoughts, memories, feelings, one's very will are all understood to be ethereal phenomena, and can be measured as such. Unlike most crystals, which only can emit elemental energies, our side is tuned not only to absorb ether, but ether specific to the immaterial. That ether is then stored and multiplied within its crystalline confines until external stimuli precipitate release. Try again. Under appropriate conditions, a strong will or desire can become imprinted upon the Aurosite and stored until fomentation, at which time the desire becomes manifest. Fomentation? What my studious young friend is trying to say is that the Otius takes someone's deepest fantasies and makes them reality. Ah, yes, that is simpler. You may choose to think of it as a process akin to that of summoning a primal. There being one marked difference, primal summoning requires a supplemental energy source, such as the horde of elementally charged crystals. Aurasight, on the other hand, has the capacity to serve as its own source of power. We know from the Durai papers that Argoth was never king of Ivalice. He was slain in battle during the War of the Lions. Yet the Argoth we encountered during the recent expedition carried himself as if he had been crowned regent. I believe this was merely the Aurasight in his possession realizing his desire to rule. I'm informed that he uttered the same words over and over again for the duration of the confrontation which unfolded. If that is the case, it is possible that it was not actually Argoth who uttered them, but the Aurasight itself. If the Durai papers are accurate, Argoth was a weak and petty noble who believed that his blood entitled him to power. The Aurasight took that belief and twisted it into the abomination Lyn put to the sword. Then you are saying the crystal could prove a threat? The Aurasight, Alma, and not necessarily. Ramza seemed to fare well enough. There is no record of the young regent being manipulated by the artifacts he gathered. In the hands of the just, the Aurasight should prove harmless, even beneficial. To paraphrase, it is not a weapon that kills, but the one who wields it. Now, where have I heard that before? Ah, yes, it was Emperor Galvas's justification for taking the marvels of Magitech and applying them to the manufacture of arms, where, after all, was the harm if it allowed him to bring order to the three great continents? You draw an intriguing parallel, Master Gaunt. The properties of these crystals are so singular, I do begin to wonder if they, like Magitech, are projects of science and not nature. That they were created by someone to... But who, what manner of person would even be capable of such a feat? Satan. Now that is an interesting question, the answer to which I look forward to hearing. Regrettably, I have pressing matters to attend to elsewhere. Fear not, however, Mikoto's insight will prove far more beneficial than anything I might accidentally contribute. Good day to you all. What I don't understand is... If the Duma was imprinted with Argath's deepest desire, then whose desires are rattling about inside the Odious? I had the self-same question, and thus conducted a thorough inspection of the crystal upon my arrival. The results were inconclusive. Traces of ethereal activity were present, but to all intents and purposes, the vessel was empty. Empty, but what of the voices I heard? Voices? I heard nothing of the sort. The only voices you heard, Alma, were in your stubborn head. Ramza, why won't you... Shall we speak of voices, then? What of yours, Alma? A resident voice of dissent. You have done naught but question the wisdom of our research. For the moment we'll have Gardemolt. Would you put your petty words above our family's calling? No, I would never. You would never? Then why involve a gossip monger, a goody two-shoes, and this flying mole? Please tell me you can see that. Okay, Moogle Man. Am I interrupting? Oh, please do go on. My acceptance into your fine troops ranks can't wait until all of you have said your piece, Koopa. Guards, get this. Mont Blanc. The name is Mont Blanc, denizen of Dalmascus deserts, a seeker of thrills, adventure extraordinaire, but you may call me Mont Blanc, Koopa. Dalmascus has long been known as a melting pot for myriad cultures, where minor races such as the Sikh, the Banga, and the Viera might live in relative harmony with Hero, Elizan, and others. Yet there's no record of a prominent Mughal population. Most likely because we are neither prominent nor populous. My people are nomadic by nature, ever drawn to the elusive frontier and the freedom she promises, Koopa. A Mughal. Of course I'm a Mughal, Koopa. You'd think the adorable wings and the fluffy palm would have given it away. Now, about my admission to the Majestic. I would allow no such thing. The Majestic is the Empire's premier theatre company. We will not sully its good name by granting refuge to a fluttering ball of fur. And furthermore, how in the world did this abomination board to Prima Vista in the first place? By means of his wings, we're right to guess. As for his admission to our company, I do seem to recall race, creed, or allegiance on my list of... I do not seem to recall race, creed, or allegiance on my list of prerequisites. Do you? No, Father. Very well then, Mont Blanc. What is it exactly that calls you to the stage? Our stage. What else? The Zodiac brave story, Koopa. Never before have I witnessed something so amazing, so moving. Sitting, well, technically hovering there in the audience as the story unfolded around me, I knew I was witnessing something special, something positively transcendental, Koopa. It was then that I realized I either had to be part of it or go to my grave a bitter and broken Mughal. Was this realization before or after you swore you simply had to become the realm's greatest marauder, Koopa? Herdy, how did you? Perhaps you'd have more success at running away if you didn't reveal your grand design to every other fool you happen to meet, Koopa. Was it not but 2 score nights ago you took up the axe, Koopa? Now here you are professing your passion for the stage before carving even a single notch in your haft. Do you not remember? To he who churns the butter goes the sweetest bread? But how is one to savor said buttered bread if his head is in the belly of a fearsome beast? You excuse me of giving up when I merely came to the realization that continuing would end in failure. Only through a change, of course, could I reach my final destination, Koopa. And that destination is what? Mummer? Are you sure it's not Geomancer? Arithmetician? Templar? Do not bother answering, Koopa. We all know you'll be singing a different tune come cockcrow. That is where you're mistaken, Herdy. I was destined to be a thespian. I can feel it in my fur. The role of Delita was made for me. Made for me, Koopa. Koopa, enough! The actors and art company trained at the Empire's finest institutes. They represent the pinnacle of the profession, not only in Garlemald, but across the entire world. A vagrant bat mole like you could never hope to share a stage with such artists, let alone play the part of a hero like Delita. You yourself admitted you were too craven to face a solitary beast. How do you imagine you would fare against a pack of theater critics? Any troop would need proof of valor before it could even consider. Craven, call me a cheat and call me cur, but do not, sir, call me Craven. I accept your challenge. Slay but one foul beast by my own hands, and the Majestic Theatre Company will accept me into its ranks, Koopa. Wait, I should know such. You're all here witnesses, Koopa. When I return with the head of a terrible beast in my gore-stained hands, you will be honor-bound to welcome me, Mont Blanc the Mummer, into the fabled ranks of the Majestic. Good day. Wonderful. What do we do now? What do? We do nothing. If the Batmole wishes to throw himself onto the horns of a stampeding Zoe, I will not stand in his way. If the proper term of derogation is molebat, and I should warn you, Muggles do not take kindly to those who use it. Why must you always put yourself above others, brother? Did you learn nothing from Argast's wretched example? Mont Blanc would never have set on his fool's errand had you not made the challenge. If anything befalls my brother, his blood will be on your hands. Lyn, you are the only one among us capable of locating Mont Blanc and preventing disaster. On behalf of my brother, I beg your assistance. My brother can be rather simple-minded when it comes to such matters, thinking to impress the Warrior of Light and her companions. Montblanc would likely choose the scene of your recent exploits to prove his worth, meaning Rabanastre, if I'm not mistaken. Pardon my language, but that Ramsar really is an incurable little prick, is he not? How dare he speak to his sister in the Moogle in that matter? Couldn't decide which was worse, the thing he said, or the way the principal sat back and let him say that. But I suppose it is not of my concern. For now, let us concentrate on the task at hand, finding that Moogle before he does something we'll all regret. Let's say we start nearby Pier 2, perhaps? Let's exit to shuttle. This quest line is also known for being long, with a lot of text. This is not the place I want to go to. I need to go to this place. The Falcon Porter tells us that he set a traveling blacksmith away to Yangchun at the bell passed. And why would that be of interest to us, you ask? Because said peddler of iron and steel was seen to be carrying a bag stuffed to the brim with, and I quote, albino mole fur and purple bat wings. Montblanc. Not that we look like that, Koopa. The quickest route into Dalmasca is via the One River and its western tributaries. If Montblanc is bound for Rabanastre, he will seek passage from the Glittering Basin. There we go. That's hard. Bruh. Why over there? Of all the places you could go to, it just had to be that place. I may have been able to take a boat closer by. Well, whatever. Because yeah, there are the ferry docks, so I may have been able to go there, but so be it. I'm already here. May as well fly that way. You see, I'm doing my own theater troupe today. Voicing all the characters, playing the music with my own voice. Playing the game in the meantime. Not that there's much gameplay to be had. Until we unlock the Alliance Way, that is. Right, there's chocobos. Yep, they are as strong as I should have expected, in all fairness. Do another one then. It's a good thing that I'm an expert monk. Okay, I wouldn't really say expert, but I would say I am an average monk. I kind of know what I'm doing when I'm playing monk. Yep. Montblanc, what were you thinking? Have you any idea what you put your brother through? He has been very sick. Both Hurley and Ramsar were right all along. I'm a failure, a flailing, flapping, floppish failure, Koopa. How could I play the part of a hero if I cannot even ruffle the feathers of a single measly bird? The audience would see right through me like the spineless jellyfish I am. No, wait, Montblanc. Not everyone can be a hero. Not even most heroes. Yes, the bards sing of the man who deals the final blow, but what of his cadre of loyal companions? Do you think Delita united Ivalice on his own? Do you think Lynn here was alone when she liberated Alamigo? You're never alone on the battlefield. Not all wars are won on the front lines, that's true. But of course they are not. Every campaign needs its brilliant architect, the mastermind who moves the pieces across the board. I, Mont Blanc, can be that mastermind. That was quick. Let us not dwell on the details. The day is saved, and Mont Blanc has escaped Sans Scratch, I guess, or Cinch to show for it. That is weird to... Anyway, we should return to Prima Vista before our luck runs out. Oh. I love the music from... Just in general, I'm gonna keep saying this for as long as we're doing the Evilist raids. The vibes of Evilist, like of Final Fantasy Tactics were on point. So good. A much better game than I really expected it to be, in all fairness. Even its mechanics, if infuriating, they're still really good. Please, this ship is a place of peace. Release my sister or you'll answer to me. When the cat's away. Put a damnable thing down, Ramza. You're not helping matters. We have no quarrel with you or yours. We only seek aid in finding our leader, Bagamon. You seek our help, you who threatened to kill my father, who stole his work and made a fool of us all? Never. Silence, Ramza. They have Alma. You will hear what they have to say. As I said, we have no quarrel with you. We only did what was necessary to secure an audience. We surrendered our weapons and offer you a journal as an act of good faith. I like how confused these crocodile boys are. I just think that's okay. This is all rather a lot to digest, but your claims do coincide with what we have learned about the other side. You're saying the crystal did something to our captain? After being emptied of Argat's will, the Duma sought that of another to sate its appetite for ether. You're saying that crystal ate our captain? Not his body, no. Only his soul. His soul? Tell me, what in your opinion was your leader's deepest desire? What was it that he longed for above all else in the world? Why waste your breath reasoning with these lizards? They showed themselves for the beast they were when they put a knife to your throat. First mole bats, now lizards? This one's tongue is pure poison. The boy can call us what he pleases. For our past failings, we deserve no better. Your failings? 30 summers have come and gone, yet not a night goes by that I do not wake and sweat at a memory. We were Faciliers in the Dalmascan army, stationed in the royal stronghold at Nalbina. Nalbina Fortress was reputed to be impenetrable. Its fall to the 4th Legion proved a turning point in the Imperial campaign. dealing a crushing blow to the Damascan morale and ultimately marking the beginning of the kingdom's end.
Bagamnon was our captain, and once it was clear the day would not be ours, Prince Rasla, commander of the garrison at Nalbina, tasked him with one final mission. Our unit was to escort His Highness's twin sister, the Princess Asheria, away from the fortress and thence to safety. But things did not go as planned. I still remember the words she uttered as she lay dying in the captain's arms. A stone's throw from where the Garam Sith's waterways drains into the sea.
Oh wait, this is Gujuk or Gijuk. I think it's not the smallest guy. Actually, I don't know.
Even as the fog of death descended upon her, she smiled and told us the very people who had failed her to survive. For as long as even a single Damascan stood, our nation would never truly perish. But it should not have been us who survived. By failing to protect our charge, we betrayed the princess and her memory, and brought shame upon our race. So yes, we are not but cold-blooded lizards, deserving of whatever scorn you deign to heap on us.
I think we may safely assume a deep-seated hatred towards the invaders of his homeland, coupled with self-loathing born from a sense of powerlessness. The darkness that lurks in the heart of Bagamnon is little different from that which drove Argath, the self-same emotions that were to nourish the Duma.
Stop speaking in riddles, Sharlian.
She's saying your brave captain will eventually turn into a monster, or rather, more of one.
Garian lies.
What they say is true. If we do not find Bagamnon and the Duma soon, none of us are safe, present company included. Do you have any idea where he might have gone? Any at all? Wait, look at this. Something has been added to the final page of my journal.
And the captain must have put it there. Only he had access to it, until we found it in the pack he left behind, that is.
Did I really... How the fuck did I miss that? Ugh, I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm back. And the captain must have put it there. Only he had access to it, until we found it in the pack he left behind, that is.
Is this the Damascan?
Indeed it is, it says Ritorana. The lighthouse. Why would he write that? And in the old man's journal, no less.
There's a place on the Valnard Sea, far to the south of Rabanastre, where the ocean tumbles into a gaping maw more than a mile across. The Ritorana Cataract. Legend would have us believe that it is the entrance to the Hell of Water. Many scholars seeking to prove otherwise has descended into the chasm, some even by airship, but not a one has returned. I must admit to knowing little of Ritorana, save that which Lady Mikoto shared with us. Before we expend valuable time and resources traveling to so remote a place, I must review my notes and see if there's any mention of the Abyss. We shall share our findings as soon as we have learned aught of interest. Our studies reveal that Ritorana is the name of both a massive gap in the southern Valnard Sea and the lighthouse once manned by the Royal Dalmascan Navy, to prevent ships from succumbing to the cataract's currents. I stress once manned, as the tower has lain empty since its canal keeps abandoned their post after the fall of Rabanastre. But if Ferris Sirius offers any indication of what can befall a lighthouse in the absence of its caretakers. Yes, but the real question is how all of this ties in with Evolesian legend. A cursory examination of the Zodiac Brave story reveals no mention of a Ridorana. Yet it seemed foolish to assume that a name could not change in the centuries since the tale was writ. So I thought to cross-reference texts on modern Ilsabardian history with a translation of the Rye Papers. And after an exhaustive re-examination of my ancestors' notes, I discovered there was not a single entry on Ridorana. And while mention of the Valnard Sea was abundant, I found no reference whatsoever to any cataract or lighthouse within its waters. Ramzo's discovery prompted me to examine the mystery from a different perspective. What if there were no mystery at all? What if at the time of Delita's rise, the chasm did not yet exist? There's more, but only a visit to the lighthouse will enable us to confirm our theories with any certainty. The Ridorana lighthouse lies far from civilization. You'll be wise to provision for the trip here in Kengashi. An adventurer usually comes prepared. I should return soon. I love that. Of course. Yeah. Ah yes. The hickening. Ugh. Welcome to the Ridorana Lighthouse. Another stunning location. Something is very wrong here. I'm happy it's best if we split our fellowship into two parties. One to delve into the tower's depths and one to observe from afar. As acting expedition sub-leader, I appoint you captain of the first. You may use the spyglass to aid in your search for the missing lizard.
Damn it, brother. Where are you?
Right. What in the music is this? This location appears to offer an adequate view. Climb up and scan the area for any sign of Bagman. Or Bagaman. Bagamnon. Whatever. Let's see. Because we have the Croc Boys. The Cock Boys. There is a... Ah. I found the bugger.
You found him? Let me see. He needs our help. Prince Rosler, Princess Ashelia, I know you cannot forgive me. Nor should you. It is all my fault. I could not save you. Could not save anyone but myself. I am so sorry. Montgomery, wait! Traitors, have you no pride? You treat with the very men who laid waste to our homeland. You're mistaken, brother. There are no Imperials here. We've come to help. I know what I see. My own kin sided with the enemy. How dare you stay audience with the princess? Stay my audience.
The Duma. It has him, Cooper. It's showing him what he wants to see.
Witch! Murderers!
Gunfire?
My goblin! So, this is the end.
Recite the words. Satisfy the covenant. Relinquish thy soul unto me, and be granted that which thou desirest most in all of the world.
Sword in hand, a warrior clutches stone to breast. Look at me, brother! Look at me! In sword, etched he his fading memories. Don't you die, not yet! In stone, his tempered skill. We promised we'd all go together when our time came. You can't leave us here. My sword attested, my stone revealed.
That light, where have I seen it before?
Oh no.
Whatever you are doing, you need to leave the lighthouse right away. Right away, do you hear me? And as we feared then, Bagamenon's soul is lost. Much as I wish it were otherwise, I fear Bagamenon is beyond saving. Yet we cannot suffer what is left of him to become a distraction. Father, is now not the time to abandon this quest? We are meddling with forces beyond. Enough, Alma. We adults are talking. While Lynn was searching for the lizard, I inspected an area of exposed foundation at the base of the lighthouse. And? And you were right, Father. The lighthouse is built squarely atop the ruins of what can only be the clockwork city of Go. The what work? City of who? According to the Zodiac Brave story, the clockwork city of Gog was a metallic metropolis wherein airships, automata, and other technological marvels of the age were first conceived. Little is said about its location, however, save that it was far away. Although the Rye papers do not say a great deal more, they do mention that the land upon which the legendary city was built was severely limited, an inconvenience that forced its inhabitants to build up rather than out. Which led me to ask myself, what is the reason land was limited? What if the reason land was limited was because the land in question was an island? But that still would not explain the omission of the cataract. It is inconceivable that the authors would neglect to mention so prominent a landmark that it existed. And then I found it, a lone passage regarding Gog's fall. While the peculiars were missing, it appears the city was abandoned after an explosion left half of it in ruin. I believe that this explosion may have undermined a portion of the seabed. It need only have been a small area at first, one that could well have gone unnoticed during the Exodus. As time passed, however, the waters would have continued to wear away at the rock, slowly widening the gap until what we have lies beneath us today. This would explain why there is no mention of Ridorana prior to the present era. Come, Father. Will you not tell them the rest of the possibility that we Guardians are descended in part from the displaced citizens of Gog? It would explain how the Empire was able to forge its armies of iron even before the discovery and application of elegant technology. And it may also explain why the legend of Ivalice has resonated with our people for centuries, despite the fact that the Lost Kingdom was, as far as we can tell, in quite a different corner of the world. An interesting if somewhat ambitious story, but to return to the original claim, it is your belief that the Ridorana Lighthouse stands atop what is left of...
That necklace. Where did you get it, girl?
This was my mother's.
Your mother's?
It was my late wife's most cherished possession. Why do you ask?
Well, Gumnon had to tell us when he would wear beneath his jerkin. Refused to take it off even when bathing. He said it was special. I only saw it a few times, but it looked exactly like the one your daughter wears.
And what are you implying, lizard? That my sister stole it? Or my late mother?
But neither. I spoke of their similarity. That is all.
Can you believe the nerve of this boy?
Enough, Ramza. Our guests are merely concerned for the well-being of their kin.
But what of our kin?
What of them, Ramza? Do you imagine our kin to be better than theirs in some way? Or anyone else's for that matter?
I apologize, Father.
We have but one purpose, son, and that is to prove the existence of Ivalice and clear our family's name. Do not allow anger or hate to lead you from that path. Now, we have a lost city to explore.
That we do. 44 minutes of just reading? I can't even do it in this episode. Like, I could run into it now, sure, but there's gonna be more cutscenes afterwards, and yeah, it's gonna be difficult. That is annoying. Either way, hope you enjoyed this episode of Just I was playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we are gonna go and do the Ridorana Lighthouse, and see how far we can get into the next quest. Goodbye.